Oh Lord, prepare me. Give me a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, and with thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. If I am holy as you are holy, and I'll see you face to face, melt and mold me unto your image. Take me to your holy place. Oh Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, and with thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you.
Oh, tonight, as we pray, sorry.
Dear Lord, will you come bless each and every one of us tonight? Watch over us while we're in here. Be with us while we're in here. Be with Pastor Eric with the message. Be with Caleb and his music. Be with us in our service. And help us understand how your Spirit moves, Lord. And we also watch over us as we go home later, Lord. In your dear, precious, and holy name, I pray, amen.
So I can
1 John 4, starting at verse 15. Whosoever shall confess that Jesus is the Son of God, God dwells in him, and he in God. And we have known and believed the love that God has for us. God is love. And he that dwells in love dwells in God, and God in him. Herein is our love made perfect, that we may have boldness in the day of judgment. Because as he is, so are we in this world. There is no fear in love, but perfect love casteth out fear, because fear hath torment. He that feareth is not made perfect in love. We love him because he first loved us. If a man say, I love God, and hateth his brother, he is a liar. For he that loveth not his brother, whom he hath seen, how can he love God, whom he has not seen? And this command we have from him, that he who loveth God loveth his brother also. And we really want to focus in on fear. I'm not a person that is normally afraid. I generally don't have fear. Not even a logical amount. I mean, back in the day, when I wasn't a pastor, I had 6-footers that ran from me. 6 foot plus. Because I didn't have the logical sense that God gave somebody to be scared of somebody over a foot taller than them. It wasn't there. I didn't have fear. I never really feared until the day I got saved. I feared God. But once you fear God, and you get saved, you can be back to not having fear. Because His perfect love casts fear out. But for a minute now, I've had a little anxiety. I've had a little fear. I've had something that's been working on me. I have an event coming up next month, and it's preaching to a lot more people than I'm used to preaching to. I mean, a lot more people than I'm used to preaching to. Like, you can take my biggest number, put it in there 4 times, and you're not very much over what I'm going to be preaching to. It's had me a little nervous. It ain't had me nervous because I'm scared of crowds. It's had me nervous because I'm not sure I can hear them in a big crowd like that. I had no problem hearing them around a few people. Y'all notice you don't ever see me with notes up here. You don't see a note 1. You don't see me keep going back to the pulpit unless I'm reading out of that Bible. Because I don't need to. Because I can hear. And I've had all kinds of people going, I know you. You're not scared of people. This doesn't make any sense. Why are you scared? I've done radio. I know more people than what I'm preaching to has heard me before. Growing up, I did some entertainment. I've been in front of larger than that number of people. But the value of entertainment versus the value of God's Word is completely different. The weight of God's Word is more important. God's Word can change a life. Entertainment does a lot of things for it. You can hear certain songs and it just cheer you up a little bit. Or you can hear certain songs and it'll make you a little sad. Same thing with watching movies. Entertainment can have an impact on our life. But it's a small impact. It's a tiny window. It doesn't change us forever. It doesn't completely shift the way we look at something. It just provides a minor distraction. God's Word is not a minor distraction. God's Word is the most important thing. God's Word is what teaches us. God's Word is how we know what we should do and how we know what we shouldn't do. There's nothing more important than that. But after so many people having all this confidence, but yet I'm still lacking it, I have to ask myself, what's wrong? What is wrong? Why are you still afraid? And then God hit me. Maybe there's something not perfect in my life. Maybe I see things that are going around me. And I get a little fed up with it. I get disgusted by it. Because I see the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. People do not know what I see on a daily basis. This is not the end of church for me. You know, there's the day I go and pick up a battered wife. It's bleeding because of how her husband woke her up that morning. Get her somewhere for the night. It's safe, but she's back in the same environment now. And I'm sure not long before the same occurrence. Drug addicts, you see, get clean, they fall back into drugs. Sometimes worse than where they were before. You attend 6 funerals, or wakes, you know, one or the other, in less than 6 months. You have church and have church and have church and wonder how long the church secretary's going to put up with no rent. You know, it's the building secretary. She's not actually a member of the church. Might as well call her our church secretary because, you know, that's our only finances anyway. It's our only expense at the moment. But yet, keep doing it because I'm trusting God. You know, I want to finish this race. It's not that I don't love Him. And it's not that I don't love people. Because I love them both. But you know, when we get frustrated, when we get disgusted, because we don't see the change that we think should be happening, maybe it's not time for the change yet. Maybe God hasn't made that change yet because your love does not last until that change. Is your love falling short? Is your love falling short of the change? I feel that way sometimes. Sometimes my love falls short. But when it don't, I don't fear anything. You know the answer to squashing fear is love. The answer to putting an end to fear is love. Because perfect love casts out fear. The Word just told us that. So if you fear anything, love it out. Find out where your love needs to go. Because if you fear something, your love's bad somewhere. There's something wrong with your love. But if your love was perfect, there wouldn't be any fear. The Word says so. And it's the final word. What this says goes. Doesn't matter what I say. Because what I say isn't in here, it don't mean anything. But if it is, it's the final word. So if you have fear of anything, examine yourself. Find where your love's messed up. Find that person you ain't forgave in your heart. I'm not saying you have to go physically and forgive them. Sometimes it's a bad thing to do. But even if it's not in person, you have to forgive them in your heart. That's where you have to forgive them. There's a difference between forgiveness and pardoning. There are people that you will forgive that you have to remove from your life. Because they can't be there. They're not good for your life. But you can forgive them. You don't have to hold anything against them. See, if they were pardoned, they'd be back into your life. Everything would be as it was before. There'd be nothing different. That's not what pardoning does. Remember what forgiveness does. Forgiveness says, okay, I don't hold it against you no more. You're free to go on. I have no feelings towards you. See, Jesus, he forgave us and pardoned us. But there's a change. Jesus, there is a change when we're pardoned. We're not the same creation. We think of things differently because the Spirit of God dwells within us. We read that too. We don't think of things the same way. We don't act the same way. Because you can't. You can try. But the Spirit of God will beat you up for it. It'll let you know. You just won't be able to stomach it no more. But examine your love. Look in your heart. And find that person who needs forgiveness. Find that person who needs your love and your grace. Forgive them. Watch your fear go. Watch your fear leave. It won't hang around. You have to be love perfect. As perfect as we can. When you love Him perfect, you're in God. And when God is with us, what can come against us? Who can stand against us? No weapon formed against us shall prosper. And nothing can separate us. Except for us. You know, we can separate ourselves from God. There are people that get saved, turn to God, and for some reason turn away. I can't answer why that happens. I don't know what people have told me. I've heard people giving false promises. You know, sunshine and rainbows, told that they'd give their life to Christ, everything's going to be perfect. I've heard that. I've heard people act like that. Is that what the final word says? It tells us in this life there will be trials and there will be tribulations. But fear not the world, for I have overcome the world. It says fear not in there a whole lot. And be not afraid. Sometimes it ain't love between us and another person. Sometimes it's our love with God. It's not right. It needs fixing. Sometimes we're just mad at Him because things aren't the way we think they should be. Sometimes we're upset over something we've lost. But the thing is, whatever we lose, it's never ours in the first place. It belonged to Him to begin with. And He gave it to us for a little while. Doesn't help us to be mad at God. Because if we are, it'll put us in a place of fear. Because our love is not perfect. Don't be mad at God. Just because you can't understand what He's doing doesn't mean what He's doing ain't right. There's lots of times we don't know why He does what He does. But there's a reason. It's okay to question and say why. But it's okay to not get an answer too. And just know that He is God. You have another song there?
Yeah, so fear shall never have a chance so long as it's love. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to hear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear, the hour I heard to believe. The Lord has promised good to me. His word my hope secures. He will my shield and portion be, as long as life endures. The earth shall soon dissolve like snow. The sun forbears to shine, but God who called me here below will be forever mine. Will be forever mine. You are forever
I heard no old story, how a Savior came from glory, how He gave His life on Calvary to save a wretch like me. I heard about His groaning, of His precious blood atoning, and I repented of my sins and won the victory. Oh, victory in Jesus, my Savior forever. He sought me and He bought me with His redeeming blood. He loved me ere I knew Him, and all my love is to Him. He plunged me to victory beneath the cleansing flood. I heard about His healing, of His cleansing power revealing, how He made the lame to walk again and cause the blind to see. Then I cried, dear Jesus, come and mend my broken spirit. And somehow Jesus came and brought me to the victory. Oh, victory in Jesus, my Savior forever. He sought me and He bought me with His redeeming blood. He loved me, yeah, I knew Him, and all my love is to Him. He plunged me to victory beneath the flame.